See, okay, I think we're live. Hello, Holistic Chamber of Commerce family. Welcome to today's member spotlight segment. I'm Laura Goldstein, your host, and today I have David Anderson with me. And he's going to be talking about how to change the world one shirt at a time. Yes, a shirt at a time. So can't wait to hear this conversation. A little bit about David. He's a master Reiki teacher, a certified medical Reiki master, Akashic Records reader, and creator of Love Lingo Positive Apparel. Love Lingo pairs scientific studies and holistic principles to make a positive change in you as well as in the world. So welcome, David.
Hello, how are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk about what exactly is Love Lingo.
Love Lingo is my brand of apparel and accessories, which I created. Let's see, came public July 1st of 17, so it's going on almost 6 years, and I'm just excited about it. It's we are literally changing the world one shirt at a time, which we'll discuss as we go on. Um, my mission is to impact and make the world a better place, a more loving and positive place.
So how did you get you're doing as a Reiki master, you're doing energetic work. How did you get from energy worker, which is very service oriented, to, hey, I create apparel for people?
Well, that's a really good question because it was kind of an interesting transition too, and also with my transition into the holistic end, I I did work at a Wisconsin Correctional Institute for a while, and I'm very empathic, and let's just put it that correctional institutions aren't a good place for empaths. It kind of made me become like a shell of a person, and it made me very aware of how things affect me myself as well as others and the world. And I in my studies for Reiki and Akashic record reading and everything, I ran across the Dr. Emoto water study. It kind of glares a little bit. I don't know if everybody out there is aware of the Dr. Emoto water study. Are you?
I'm not, no.
You're not. Okay. Well, Dr. Emoto did many studies with water, and one that he did is he took water, put it under a microscope, took a picture of it, took the same water, put it in vials or little bottles, and then labeled them: love, hate, peace, you're cute, you're a fool, thousands of different things. And after 8 hours, took a picture of it again, and the word itself changed the molecular structure of the water
Yeah,
because
now I'm familiar, yeah.
yeah, so everything's got a vibration, everything has a frequency, everything affects everything. And if we remember back, growing up, a lot of our moms or grandmas or whatever always said, watch your words, watch what you say, watch what you think, because it affects everything. Well, this actually backs it up. And when I learned that, it hit me right between the eyes. I was like, wait a minute, words change water. I'm mostly water because our bodies are mostly water. I've heard anywhere from 60 to 80%. So I'm like, those words will change me. So I ran right out and I got t-shirts, magic markers, and wrote on them and slept in them, and I could tell. I'd wake up happier. I'd feel better. I actually hugged while I was, sleeping, um, and which actually ends up to be the number one comment for Love Lingo is it's like wearing a giant hug. And
That's so funny talking about a t-shirt with magic marker. I mean, talk about starting with just the basics of what you have.
I should have brought actually brought one with because I still have them too in the archives because I did that and then I fine tuned them for like 2 years and then Spirit says, hey, you need to bring these public. These you got to get these out. So then I figured out a way to print them, and actually one of the first ones I came up with was the black. Came out with black, gray, and light blue, and I brought them out as sleep shirts. And people were like, sleep? I want to wear them to work because work sucks. I want to wear them to yoga or meditation or, listing all these things. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. So if we go back to the doctor, hopefully we can see these, but for the people that are not aware, and you can look up Dr. Emoto, and there's YouTubes on it. He's got many books. And once I've mentioned this, you're going to see it all the time. Because I mentioned I go out and do holistic fairs and stuff, and people will either like the day before they meet me, they learn something about Dr. Emoto, or after I tell them, they write me back and they're like, "It's everywhere." It's just kind of fun. We're not aware of it, and we kind of just blow it by, you know. So, but this is what, if we can, kind of shiny, but if we can see that, that's what water looked with the words love and gratitude on it. And this next page, that's thank you in 7 different languages. So even the language made a difference. This one, hopefully I can do it. that one's thank you in English, and then this one right, whoop, this page. That's thank you in Japanese, which is arigato, which I actually put right there because I thought it was prettier. You know, it's like. And then if we go the other extremes, this side is thank you, or you fool in Japanese, you fool in English, and you make me sick, I will kill you. And then the other page, the top is angel and the bottom Satan. And when I learned this, it was like, wait a minute. Those are pretty pictures, and the other ones aren't so nice.
Right.
You know, they're kind of cancerous, and it was like, yeah, I don't want the water in me to look like that. I want it to look like that. So that was why I ran out and got the T-shirts, because it's like, holy cow. You know, I was unaware, because I mean, being an empath, everything affects me, and everything affects everybody else out there too, and most of us are unaware of that.
Right. And I'm sure it moves just beyond the words that are on a shirt, but also, the words that you say to yourself in your mind, the words that you think. And if you have a visual reminder of how you want to think, it makes it a lot easier, I would think, to, make that shift as well.
Yes, exactly. And it's it's actually kind of an affirmation to yourself and to others.
Mm.
And he actually did, when you mentioned that, he actually did the study also with talking to the water. And on this page, okay, the top one, he had little kids say the words "you're cute," and then the bottom one is "you fool."
Mm.
He had 2 little bottles, and then he had little kids say that to him, and it did the exact same thing. So it doesn't matter if it's written or if it's said. And in my opinion, it's if it's thought to. And our brain's 90% water.
Mm. Yeah, that is interesting. That's a good point. I like how you kind of bridge the gap between the two. It's like we sometimes don't connect the pieces, and it was like, wait a second, this is with regular water. There's water in me. I'm mostly water, so I really like how you bridged that gap there. Interesting aha moment.
Yeah,
Um,
and in that exactly how I do a lot of holistic fairs and stuff. When I explain this to people, they get the aha moment, because it's like at first they're like, yeah, so what? Words change water, big deal. But then once it's like, hey, I'm mostly water, and they're like, wait a minute, so am I.
so would you say now you do more like of the apparel work than you do like the Reiki services, or do you still have a nice balance of both?
It's probably more of the love lingo right now.
Mhm.
I still do quite a bit of the Reiki services, but it kind of leans more towards this because I can affect more people with love lingo than I can Reiki.
Mhm.
Because for every person that wears, and that's one thing I should point to, is all of my apparel is printed front and back. So you are just embraced in that. And then at the same time, you're spreading empathy, love, and peace, whether you're coming or going.
Mm. Do you have a variety of style of shirts, or is it basically the same shirt, or can people go and like choose from different words?
As for the designs, I've got 2 different designs, which I've got my regular, the original, and then I've got the Love Lingo heart design, which that I've got on numerous different options too.
Mhm.
So I've got the both. I've got the 2 designs. I've got a few other prototypes I'm working on as well. But I also have can coolers.
Oh yeah, I was
And
going to ask you, do you have like coffee mugs and things like
um,
that?
yes, I got caught. Oh, that one's hard to see.
Yeah.
I got
Okay, the
that's the
heart.
yep, that's the purple heart. I've got them with purple heart, pink heart, black heart, and then I got black with white heart, and then I've got white with the mauve of this.
I like that, like coffee mugs and water bottles, because that you can see, like when you're wearing a shirt, you're not always, seeing that on yourself. But if you have your favorite mug, especially, starting out your day, just like having that mug with just the words that you can look at and remind yourself how I talk to myself. And also like my beliefs about the world and the people around me, impacts my cellular structure, my inner well-being. So I like that you have like mugs and what water bottles too, did you say?
I've been working. That was like one of the first things on my list, and I still don't have it because I cannot find the right bottle that's going to hold up. That will be the way a lot of people want them. Because a lot with the plastics and this, and that, and the other thing, it's kind of like, so what do I do? But I do have um, Love Lingo wristbands, which many people are putting on their water bottle.
Ah, okay.
And I've got them in all the chakra colors as well. And see, at most of my apparel, a lot of my apparel we come out with, we have the chakra colors too, because that affects people as well.
Mhm.
Each energy point has a different color and vibration. So it's kind of interesting. People will pick out a shirt and they'll be like, well, blue's my favorite color. Why am I getting red? I'm, I'm like, because you need to be grounded and your spirit team's kind of guiding you through this process.
You mean that they ordered it or like it came red and they thought they ordered
Oh
blue?
no, no, like at a show, like I do a lot of events where holistic events where people like come to get a shirt and they're like, blue's my favorite color, but for some reason that red is just standing out. I gotta get a red.
Well, you're a reader of energy, so you have people that come up and want a color, and you're like, no, no, you need purple. You need this. I mean,
I
to
actually have
me,
done that, yes.
yeah,
And
I think
then
that's a lot of fun. I could see you doing that. Like, they're like, oh, I want green. You're like, no, no, here, take orange. You need orange.
mhm. Yep, exactly. And then with that said too, I also energetically cleanse and Reiki enhance everything because everything picks up energy too. So you do not know what kind of mood that person that sold that shirt was in that day. You don't know what kind of mood the truck driver that delivered it or the mailman or whatever. So I help take the negative energies out of that so it comes back just straight to you. And then I Reiki enhance it too. So I spend more time Reikiing shirts than I do people.
People.
So so it's the ultimate in positivity. And and then that's kind of funny too, because when I set up my booths, I have all these samples, and then people will be like, "Well, I want this shirt," and then they'll take it, fold it up, and put it in their bag or their purse or whatever, and I'm being like, "No, no," and they're like, "What? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "That's a sample. I energetically cleanse everything. You don't want one 100 people have touched. You want your own." So it's like, "Oh, okay." I mean, like you said, you can see me stopping them, and it's just kind of funny because they kind of, "What? What am I doing wrong?"
This is great. I love your energy and just what you put out there, and you got a good sense of humor as well. So this is a fun
Thank you.
conversation. I'm so curious. How did you get into the energy work in the first place?
Well, I actually believe I was born into it, but then like a lot of us, growing up, we end up getting beat down, don't be making things up, don't do the no, 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 that's not right. So I ended up putting on without a better way of putting Harry Potter invisibility cloak and just kind of put it back of mine. And then it slowly started to creep open. And then actually once I was at the Correctional Institute, I was like, um, when I left, and I was this shell of a person. I had a teacher say, you need to have a Reiki session. I was like, I've always wanted to. That sounds like a good idea. And I went and had a Reiki session, and I was instantly back to myself. instantly. I was like, that doesn't happen with everybody, but it did me. And I'm driving home, and Spirit's like, "You're gonna learn this," and I'm like, "No, I am not." And we argued back and forth, and in less than 10 days, I was in class.
Yeah, well, I think that's how a lot of us get into, whatever kind of healing arts work that we do is we find something that really made a huge impact on our own being. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to, share this with other people and I need to do my thing in the world. So that's great.
I would
Yeah.
like to mention the fun one. There's a few different, lots of fun things when it comes to Love Lingo, but I mean, I do have them in youth styles, youth sizes. So I got kids wearing them to school. I got teachers wearing them to school. When I first came out with the shirts, I had nurses getting them, and they had to wear them under their scrubs, but they could tell the difference with the patient. And they're like, "Dave, you got to have scrubs." And I looked into it, and with my original design, I'd have to have two different sizes, and it was kind of a mess. So, but when I came out with my heart design, it ends up fitting a little perfect. So I've also got heart. I got the hearts on the scrubs, and I mean they're very popular too. I mean, massage people are wearing them, and I mean actually people with crystal shops because it's got the pockets, um, and then with that said, I have people send me stuff, and then they go on trips and they'll bring him to different places. I got a photo a couple weeks ago with a guy in Turkey wearing my shirt. I've got a picture with two ladies wearing my tie dye a tie dye short sleeve shirt at Stonehenge. I've got photos of little kids wearing them in the mountains in Germany. So it's like when we say changing the world one shirt at a time, we literally are. Because for everybody that comes in contact with, I mean, because it affects people whether they know it or not.
Right.
And then when I set up at holistic events and stuff, it's actually really kind of funny. It's funny but sad. But people are like drawn in like moths to a flame, or they are so repelled they'll knock the table over across the hall, across the aisle, trying to stay away. And they don't know why. It's just they don't like that high, positive, exciting, happy, and they got to stay away from it. And the sad part is they actually need it more than the rest of us.
Right.
There's many people I know, and I've got many clients that's once they put on Love Lingo, it's like that's actually the number one comment is like it's like wearing a giant hug. The number one complaint is you didn't make me buy two. It's my favorite shirt and it's in the laundry. And I mean, people end up that's all they'll wear. I've got a friend in Chicago that he's like, Chicago's so nasty. I won't leave my house without wearing a Love Lingo. He says it's like my suit of armor. He says and things don't bother me when I'm in it.
Nice. Well, and
Sorry.
the beauty of it is it's retail. So you're right. I mean, people from all over the world can buy this, and you can really make a large impact because you're not limited by region. You're not limited, even by, like Zoom and, certain technology platforms. I mean, it's retail and anybody can buy one anywhere. And I think that's fantastic. So speaking of which, I'm going to put your website address here in the comments. So anybody here can go ahead and just click on that. It's elevatemyvibe.com, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So as we are wrapping up our time here, is there any kind of last words of wisdom or anything you want to share with people before we sign off?
I'd say just stay positive. Don't let the things around you affect you. I mean, and I'm not saying this is because of my business, but I'd wear a Love Lingo because I mean, they do make a difference. I mean, they really do. They've changed my life. It's like I'm completely different than I used to be. I really am. And make sure you pay it forward. Do something. Make somebody happy. Make somebody smile. The world's kind of a negative, sad place right now. We need to make it a little bit better.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much, David, for being here and for sharing your craft with us. So go check out his website, get yourself a t-shirt, whether you want to sleep in it or wear it every day, grab a coffee mug. It's awesome. Thank you
And
so much.
there are yoga tanks and stuff too for the yoga people out there. So
Awesome.
in case they were wondering, it's not all crew necks. I got ladies styles and V-necks.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
So,
thank you so much, David.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.